Hello everyone, this is Visual Novel Gamer here, and I am back with Katawa Shoujo. I'm sorry that I cut off the last episode rather abruptly, but I had an important phone call that I received. But since I'm filming this later at night now, I shouldn't have that problem. Alright, let's continue. Yuko looks positively delighted at this development. I feel like I just chose the right answer on some big quiz show. Oh, I think I can help you with that. If you don't mind, of course. I briefly considered turning down the offer in order to not cause her too much trouble, but she looks too excited about this for me to do it. It would mean to shoot her down like that after such a reaction. If you're willing to help, I really appreciate it. She claps her hands together and quickly deposits her towel on the counter before returning and taking a seat across from me. I take my notebook off the top of the textbook and hand it over for her to peruse. So, you're studying the Edo period. Yeah, I'm not really much good at this though. She takes a textbook and reads a few pages from a random section near the middle for a bit, but the aura of enthusiasm she's been radiating previously is rapidly snapping away. I'm guessing this isn't the kind of history you are expecting. Unfortunately not. My main area is European history, especially in the classic era. Sorry. She looks a bit downcast, but as she carefully chooses the book and lays it down at the table, her face perks up again. Would you like another cup of coffee? Oh, yeah, sure. I reach forward to get my book back as Yuko gets up. She takes my mug and slowly walks to the counter to make another brew. As usual, she's absolutely silent as she does this. Every ounce of her concentration is focused on not tripping over or dropping the plain white mug. I take the opportunity to lay back and relax for a bit. The hum of the coffee machine filling the obviously quiet air. It's the small details like that which make me realize how much I come to appreciate the little things in life. The peace and quiet of the local town, the discipline and order of Yamako, the green of the trees that were so rare in my home city, the relaxed pace at which the aging residents live their lives. Everything feels so certain. It's comforting. I can feel myself beginning to nod off when the sound of the mug coming to rest on the table grabs my attention. Seems like it's arrived not a moment too soon. Yuko takes her previous seat once again as I pick myself up and bring a hand around the mug to check its temperature. It's just a little too hot to drink right away, so I blow on it a little. It's a shame you don't like history all that much. I sort of guessed you might be more into science. How so? You nearly read out the science fiction section of the library already. It wasn't hard to notice. You do have a good point there. Well, what can I say? You pegged me just about right. You sound like you're really taking an interest in history, though. Especially considering how specific you were about it. Do you study in that area or something? Go on digs overseas. She giggles nervously at the thought. I'd like to visit the Mediterranean sometime and see the old architect and art for myself, but I don't think I could trust myself to handle such delicate things. I'm saving up to formally study in university, although I also read up on it whenever I have free time outside of work. Samiko was right about her university aspirations. Considering how she fares as a waitress, a more theological approach may suit Yuko better. It's nice to hear that she has some ambitions, though, considering how hard she works. I nod and take a careful sip of my coffee. By now it's cooled to the right temperature, so I begin to drink while keeping an eye on the book below. trying to read at the same time. A few minutes pass quietly, Yuko looking out the window and watching the world go by, while I have my coffee and study. A movement catches my eye, and I look up to see Yuko smiling and waving to someone outside. Following her gaze, surprisingly reveals that someone to be Hanako. She is looking at us from the side of the street, across from where we are. Her usual, all too visible, timidity is largely absent. Probably thanks to there being so few people around right now. Evidently, she decides to join us, as after a little wave, she gives a quick glance up and down the street and crosses towards the side that the cafe is on. The familiar doorbell to the Shanghai rings out as Hanako enters and makes her way to the table we're sitting at. Hello. Good afternoon. Hi, Hanako. What's up? Nothing. Just going for a walk, since the weather was nice. Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm glad I decided to study here instead of the library. It's comfortable in here, thanks to that. Better than the sometimes quite stuffy library. I look to Yuko, who nods in response. Sorry, I can't speak today for some reason. It's nice. It's just the same that summer can't last forever. Oh, wait. Sorry. Would you like a drink? Hanako shakes her head. Thankfully, it's enough to calm Yuko back down. How are you going with studying? Okay-ish. Oh yeah, have you talked with Lily? I'm interested too. How's she doing? She's enjoying it, I think. That's all we're going to get out of her. Being around Yuko is tensing her up. It would be so nice to travel to Scotland. Green fields, castles, lovely small towns, men in kilts, interesting history. I can't say I see the appeal of men in kilts myself. It does seem like a picturesque place, though. As we talk, the jingle of the bell rings again. Hanako is startled, noticing Yuko's panic expression at the prospect that she might leave customers to wait a handful of seconds due to her chatter with us. Yuko gives us a quick bow, then hastily scatters over and greets the new customers, an elderly man and his wife. I watch her for a bit, craning my head around to get a good look. Hanako is staring at me with her one visible eye. She averts her head in embarrassment as I turn to make eye contact. I was just thinking that it's nice to have ambitions for the future. Yuko was telling me a little about her university aspirations before. Oh? It's a shame. If she wasn't so... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that and overworked. I think she could be a really happy person. As much as I like to play host to Hanako and entertain her a bit, I do need to study as well. To be honest, I don't think the distraction from Yuko helped either. Sorry if I'm a bit distracted. I need to try and get this done. Otherwise, I'm going to flunk the history exams pretty hard. I left running my head through my hair in frustration. That letter needs doing as well. Once I get back to my dormitory room. I hope I have more luck with this than this. Damn. What with? Oh, I was going to write to Inako. Right now, though, this is more important. All I've done is rat at myself. I can't focus on the work in front of me when my stomach is slowly turning at the prospect of actually attempting to write her back after all this time. I force myself to concentrate on the book, picking up my pen once I have a quick sip of my coffee. After a few seconds, Hanako stops silently watching me and leans back in her seat, relaxing as much as she ever seems to be able to, looking out the window to pass the time. We stay like this for a long time before leaving for the dormitories together. I'm surprised she had the patience to wait me out. Ainako's letter lies on my desk beside a blank sheet of lined paper and an unused envelope. The tapping of my pen is the only thing to be heard this late at night. As I feared, my second task for the day turns out to be just as difficult as the first, if not harder. It's been so many months since we saw each other. Even so, I can still remember what she looked like, what she sounded like, and what she acted like by now, though the little details are beginning to slip away. When I first saw her letter, I barely recognized her handwriting at all. Even the pink pen she always used was forgotten until her writing reminded me of it. I wonder why she didn't use it for the letter. She used to write everything with it. Maybe she thinks it's too immature now. I should be thinking about myself and about what I want to communicate to her. My mind can't stop concentrating on her, though. On the past we shared before, it was taken away so suddenly. The bright and slightly grimaced decorations suit her sense of aesthetics. Picking up the letter to take a closer look at it, I give a long sigh. This is the last link binding me to the past. Ainako didn't suddenly cease to exist when she left my hospital room for the last time, but I needed this letter to remind me of that. I hope all the feelings neatly filed away. I felt as if I didn't need them, that I could just begin life completely anew. It was easier that way. In the end, I suppose that was a rather naive thing to think. Sooner or later, my past would have caught up with me one way or the other. But what am I supposed to say to her? Thank you for bringing me closure. All the letter did was end the sense of closure I'd previously felt. Try as I might, I can't write so much as a single word down on the paper in front of me. I can't even think of what exactly I want to say. Putting the letter down on top of the blank sheet, I gather the materials together, file them away in my drawer. The clank the dust makes as it closes makes me momentarily tense in frustration before I get up to go grab a drink from the vending machine on the first floor. I tried, but I couldn't do it. After all the time that's passed, I still don't know how to deal with Ainaka. Because in Emmy's route, he didn't write to her at all. He read it but got completely frustrated, but in Hanaka's route, he's writing to her. The library, while not humming with activity, is noticeably more busy than usual. Exams are not far away, and that reflects in the number of students burying their noses in textbooks at the tables around us. I've been studying quite a lot in the past few days, just like them, in hopes of doing well in the exams. This also means that Hanako and I have been playing games less, so she's begun studying as well, just to fill in the time. Needlessly, I found myself forsaken by her on this particular day. The textbook in front of me has remained on the same page for some time. After so much reading of the subjects I could care less about, if not for the exams, my mind is beginning to wander. I find my eyes flickering over to where Hanako would usually be, just like on the days she wasn't in class. Her usual beanbag in the corner of the room is conspicuously unoccupied. It was here that we first met. I tried to start a conversation with her, she got skittish and eventually bolted from the room altogether. I probably shouldn't smile about it, but it was kind of amusing in hindsight. Nowadays, it's more and more difficult to imagine her doing such a thing. Even with Lily gone, she's been doing well now that she's come out of her room. I want to talk with her, or at least play another game of chess. I'm tired of studying, and it's been a few days since we've really done anything together. The question of where to find Hanako isn't a particularly difficult one. She's not in the library. Chances are that she's either in the tea room for some peace and quiet or in her dormitory room. Deciding to check them in that order, I pick up my books and make my way out of the library. I stretch and give a loud groan as I walk down the hallway. Studying may be frustrating at times, but with the progress I feel I made, there's also some sense of pride in getting it done. It's a good feeling. There isn't a sound to be heard from inside as I stand in front of the door to Hanako's room. I guess that isn't very indicative of whether she's inside or not, given how quiet she usually is. Still, she wasn't in the tea room. I try knocking lightly to make my presence known, but am surprised when I find the door unlocked and yielding at my touch. With a small creak, the door opens. It looks like my suspicions were correct. Hanako is indeed here. She's sitting at the table with an open book in front of her. Her pace at no heave. She keeps looking out the window. She looks utterly oblivious to my presence. With her head thoughtfully resting on her hand, she looks calm and collected. It's a shame she can't look like this more often. Smiling a little, I walk up to the table and softly speak to her. Good evening, Hanako. Hanako head turns a little to see me, but still only half there. I put a hand on the table and lower my head to better look at her face. Mildly curious what mood she's in. What's up? She gasps a little, finally acknowledging my presence in the room for the first time. Hanako's blushing really heavily. Her mouth is open just a little, as if paused mid-sentence. Most strikingly, though, is what she's doing. She's looking directly at me. Her eyes are pinned on me, from such a close distance that I could almost see my reflection in them. They don't turn away nor move at all. They're absolutely stilled, just looking into mine. They're dark, and given her almost anecdotic air, even while reading on subjects she has no interest in, she would appear to be wrapped in her work to a casual observer. She absorbs information very well, and even now I can feel that. I feel like I'm seeing something behind those eyes that I never saw before. I don't know what it is, though. Maybe it's love. Hanako? Her lips move just a little, slightly mouthing something. She looks like she's on the verge of saying something but won't say it. But that's the way Hanako always is, on the verge of saying something but never quite doing it. As I look intently into her eyes, I realize something. Everyone has their own thoughts, things they want to say, their own worldview, but I can't work out what Hanako wants to say, and I can't work out what she's thinking. I've never been able to. It's frustrating. It feels like I don't know her at all, despite all the time we spent together. Sao? It's only now that I find myself blushing. I've been looking directly into Hanako's eyes from such a short distance, with absolutely no regard for her, and she's been looking into mine without shrinking away. I quickly look away while covering my face with my hand. Hanako does just the same. Another awkward, silent reigns. I hate these. At first I accepted them as just being a fact of life around Hanako, but now all they feel like is an affirmative of how little we're able to communicate. Some anger makes its way in the complex mixture of emotions I'm experiencing right now. I want to bridge the gap between us. Friends shouldn't have to tiptoe around each other like this. I speak before I can argue myself out of what I'm going to do. My scarring isn't as bad as Hanako's, and I can't possibly compare my life to hers. But I want to show her that she's not alone. Wait, am I going to take off my shirt and show the scar? Doing this in such a blunt manner might be the only way to get my point across. Hanako, I want to show you something. I take a deep breath and prepare myself. This could backfire badly, but I feel as if we come close enough for this to be okay. I'm not going to strip naked or anything weird. I'm just going to take my shirt off. Surprise face. Hanako's eyes grow to the size of saucers. Her face is an amusing mixture of curiosity and nervousness as she stands. It helps take the edge off my own nervousness at doing this in front of another person. Slowly, with my entire body feeling tense, I unknot my tie and begin to loosen the first of the buttons. I'm trying to mentally block out Hanako to make this easier, but it's not really working. As I work my way down, I expect to hear some form of protest from her. She remains silent through, which just makes us feel even stranger. With the last of my shirt unbuttoned, I take a deep breath and look at her. Hanako's gaze is fixed upon my scarring, as expected, and once I nod to say it's okay, she steps forward and tentatively places her hand on the vertical line running down my chest. The scarring on her hand, a pattern of damaged skin across the surface, contrasts with the single uniform line that makes up mine. Her hand isn't trembling at all, unlike what I predicted. This is the scar from the surgery that followed my heart attack. The surgeons had to cut open my chest to operate on my heart. I never knew. Hanko's words are calmer and softer than usual. The feeling of her fingers moving from my scar to my breast makes me hesitate a little before continuing on. You're the first person to see this since I left the hospital. Look at my cheeky smile. That's a cheeky smile if I ever seen one. And she's serious now. Can't get over that cheeky smile though. But why are you showing this to me? I wanted to prove myself that I could do this, that I could accept my past and move on. I wanted to show that to you as well. She nods. From her reaction, she seems to know how difficult this is for me. More than anything, this scar represents a visible reminder of my condition. A reminder that I'm not normal anymore. That's something that, until now, I have tried my hardest to ignore. As the minutes tick by, Hanako's gaze lingers. Her eyes look less focused on my scarring than before. The situation feels a bit different than it previously did. It makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Her hand retreats and I draw my shirt close and begin to button up. Her blushing face suddenly returns to its typical tense and timid state as she looks away. The room is completely silent as I fix my shirt and tie, feeling put off after such an unexpected, intimate moment. So, I guess you're not the only one that's scarred. Hanako smiles a little at the joke, thankfully lightening the atmosphere a bit. Thank you, Hisao. I think I understand. I give a long sigh of relief. I really don't know how she took it, but I'm glad everything seems to have worked out as I hoped. Hanako's smile only proves that further. I'm finding the path I want to follow now, and what Hanako needs to do is to find her own. It's something I can't help her with, and it's something that she needs to overcome her past in order to do. Hanako checks her watch. It's getting late by now. Hisao, yeah, I better be going. I'll be thankful for some sleep. It's been a long day after all. Good night, Hanako. Good night. I made my way out of the room and into the hallway, remaining silent as I do so. I think both of us have gone through a few emotions today. The heat of the summertime sun beats down on my sweating brow. Dabbing with a handkerchief doesn't help too much in making me any more comfortable. Giving up on the idea of getting more done today, I stop and lean against one of the overpass's fences, resting my bag on the ground. The stores in town below Yamku are well stocked and offer enough variety for me to get by, but at least an occasional shopping trip to the city is something that can't really be avoided. I've been here a few times. The city's layout is getting more familiar and the nostalgia from its atmosphere is beginning to wear off. I realized that I begin to wheeze. I sound like an old man that's overexerted himself, and having to connect that to the fact that I'm the source is a bit disturbing. I put a hand on my chest and concentrate for a bit to make sure I haven't gone far enough to cause any problems. Thankfully, my heart is acting normally. There's no dull pain, and the beating is regular, a bit fast-paced as I recover from overdoing things in this kind of heat. I hate my body. It's frustrating to hold back even more, to be held back by fear of my life being ended. When doing something as simple as walking around the city for a while, as I ponder on my health, I feel my pocket vibrating. By the time my phone begins to ring, my hand is already fishing for it. A glance at the screen shows a caller number I don't recognize. Strange. Shrugging, I press the button to answer the call and bring the phone to my ear. Hello, this is Nakai speaking. That's a dot. Found up a couple short breaths can be heard, but no actual speech is forthcoming. Hello? Is Hal? It's Hanako. Her voice is really easy to place, even if I never heard it over a phone before. Hanako, sorry, I wasn't expecting you to call. What's up? If you're not busy, I was wondering if you would like to meet up? Yes. I mean, she sounds really wind up about this. I could hear muffled sounds in the background, and it's about time for afternoon tea. So I guess she wants me to meet her at the Shanghai or something. That sounds fine. Are you at the Shanghai? I'm in the city. Hanako's here? Alone? That's a surprise. It's a little wonder if she likes this. If she's surrounded by people and entirely by herself. That works out well. I'm just wandering around there now. Where are you? Hanako managed to stammer out the street name, address, and some basic directions to where she is. Luckily, it's not too far, so I agree to see her soon before hanging up. I look up to the sky. The summer heat is beating down. This is the first time Hanako asked for us to do something together, beyond a simple board game, and the first time, at least since I've known her, that she's come to the city by herself. Maybe this means that Lily was right. By the time I manage to stagger up to the cafe where Hanako is, I start to wheeze again. I'm sweating so much that I feel like a melting popsicle, and can barely hold the bag in my hand. I need to sit down, badly. The table outside are all occupied by busy chatting couples and girls gossiping between themselves. The contrast between the different age groups and fashions of the people here and there and the people from town near Yamaku is striking. I scan over the people sitting at tables, but I can't see Hanako. She did say she was sitting outside, so I must just be missing her. Not difficult, given how small she usually tries to make her presence. I look over her again, more slowly this time, taking particular care to see if I can find Hanako's hat. It's pretty distinctive, and I'd be very surprised if she wasn't wearing it. There she is. Sure enough, her head is kept low, and the table she's sitting at is right beside the building in an inconspicuous corner. I walk up to where she is and make sure that I have her attention before I sit. At least I give her a scare. She notices me and gives me a small wave as I arrive at her table. Are you feeling okay? I try my best to laugh it off, but doing so makes me more out of breath. Not very fit these days. Don't mind me. Michael nods, but looks a little put off. Now that I get a good look at her face, something about her seems a bit different. I'm not sure if my eyes are playing tricks, but she looks kinda nice. Her eyes move upwards to look at me before quickly flicking down again. I'm beginning to think this is going to be a rather quiet meeting, but a waitress thankfully arrives and sits down a cup of tea in front of Hanako. Hanako almost automatically turns slightly away and lowers the side of her head. It is an amazing practice motion and does a good job of its intended purpose. hiding her scars from someone who's leaning in too close. Her right arm is still laying on the table, though, with the scarring on the back of her hand quite visible. It catches the waitress' eye, and I move quickly to distract her. "Excuse me, may I place an order?" The waitress nods and gives me a couple seconds to look at the menu. "Could I have a mango smoothie, please?" She gives a nod before almost enthusiastically bouncing inside. Everything is so different in this city, in more ways than one. Hanako looks back up towards me and adjusts her hat a little. If she noticed the waitress staring at her scars, she doesn't show it. Not coffee? I think I'd die from this heat if I had something like coffee right now. Resting my head in my hand, I look to my quiet companion. She seems taken aback, a very unexpected reaction to my lame joke. An unwelcome emotion bubbles up inside me as I realize her reason why. Unlike most in Yamaku, indeed, unlike anyone there that I'm aware of, my condition goes beyond limiting the activities I can do. Or to be more precise, breaching those limits can have much more grave consequences. Thankfully, it's something that very rarely come up since I enter Yamaku. I thought that it was so rare that Hanako and Lily might not think of it at all. It turns out that I was wrong. Hanako silently drinks her tea while I wait for my drink, confirming that it's the right temperature with a small sip before she begins in earnest. I feel guilty for being the cause of an uncomfortable silence, since in the past I've been kind of hard on Hanako for those. Eventually, the same waitress as before bounces up and handing me my drink. I gather change from my pocket and drop it into her waiting hand before she goes off to attend to another customer. My eyes linger on her as she walks away. Do you think that she looks pretty? Hanako is following my gaze, her eyes taking in the waitress that serves us. I can feel my blood slowly go into my cheeks as I rest my smoothie on the table. Can't really say that I'm really into that look. She just looked a lot like an old friend I knew before my heart attack. Did you have many friends? I had a few at my previous school, though I wouldn't say a lot. The four of us just hung around together after school and stuff. Do you still talk to them? I shake my head. No. We gradually lost contact while I was stuck in the hospital. You're not saddened by that? Angry? Hanako looks genuinely surprised. I guess it's the right reaction. Well, life did move on for them while I was stuck in the ward. I was pretty sore about it at the time, but now it's just a bunch of nice memories. Besides, once I came to Yamaku, I found new friends as well. That's quite a whitewash of what my feelings were back then. I went through some dark times during my stay at the hospital, and I'm really glad that Hanako and Lily were around to help me after I left it. Hanako blushes as we both get down to enjoying our drinks. She seems to have calmed down since I arrived, and I start to feel a little better now that I had a chance to rest a bit. So this is getting to be a nice outing already. Even if she's calmer than before, she's still fidgeting a bit. She runs her hand down one of her bangs as I try to think of something to say. That's right, I was going to ask. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. I didn't know you had a mobile phone. How'd you get my number? Lily gave it to me. You should have guessed. No, you could have just asked. I'll have given it to you. Want to exchange email addresses? That's weird. Hanako nods, setting down her drink and fishing out her phone from her pocket as I do the same. It's surprisingly the same model as mine. Pink, though. On his phone? He looks to me with a curious expression before noticing my phone and giggling. One of the few times I've seen Hanako let her guard down enough to do such a thing. I didn't pick it out myself, though. Oh? It was a present from Lily. I never really needed a phone, and I couldn't afford one. She bought me one for Christmas, though, saying that we could use it to keep in touch. They see each other basically every day anyway, both in and out of school. Then again, Lily does have her class representative duties and other friends that she talks with. It probably helped for situations like this too, when she's gone away for a while. Lily's a very special person to you, isn't she? She is... I love her very much. Hanako looks down and smiles as she thinks of her. None of my friendship were as deep as theirs, and I have to admit to myself that I'm a little jealous of their relationship. We tell each other our email addresses and thumb them into our respective phones, and I get Hanako's number from earlier and put it into my contact list. Done. That makes 3 now. 3. Lily, Akira, and you. Ah, Akira. She's an interesting person, isn't she? She is. She's also really nice, though. Her suit makes her look a bit cool. I'm a little surprised you know each other well, with what her job's taking up so much of her time. Hanako looks down a little and takes another sip of her drink. If I wasn't looking intently at her face, I'll miss the small smile perched on it. I guess when she knows so few people, those she knows must mean a lot to her. How many do you have? Me? About 9 or 10. I hesitated to go into them of fear of rubbing in the fact that Hanako doesn't have parents, or apparently even close relatives. 2 of those are Sasune and Misha too, just another can of worms. I imagine that Lily would have more than both of us put together, probably. Hanako gives a childish giggle, and I can't help smiling. It's a good feeling that she's gotten this comfortable around me. At times like this, I feel like I'm getting close to her, to talking to her true self. Do you mind if I ask you something that I've been wondering? Hanako shakes her head as she takes a last sip of her tea, finishing it off. You don't seem very jealous of Lily having a lot of friends. Don't you want to make some more friends yourself, or get to know some of hers? I'm not jealous. I don't like people, so I don't mind not having many friends. That's really not the answer that I was expecting. She doesn't look fearful or sad as she says this, but rather quite serious. Hanako rubs her arm awkwardly, having taken my quietness as a reason to continue. I'm not sure what I would say, so I ended up simply giving her my attention in silence. In middle school, I got bullied. A lot. I was called names and got excluded from work projects and sport teams. There were worse things, too. And that's what made you not like other people. She shakes her head. That was elementary school. I feel bad for bringing this up now. Adults have enough problems dealing with Hanako's scarring. Children would be all the worse. I had assumed that the way she tried to make her presence not felt was just to avoid people staring at her, or because she was afraid of them, certainly not because she genuinely didn't want to interact with them in the first place as well. I noticed the conclusion from my neglect smoothie forming a little puddle around the bottom of the cup, so I take the opportunity to finish it off. As I drink, she begins to fiddle with her phone. It looks like she remembers the people around her again and begins to tense up. It isn't exactly a cheap phone. I had to save up for quite a while to afford one when I got mine. Lily went to a private school. She probably wouldn't have too much trouble getting one for a present, though. Watching her fiddle with it gives me an idea. Hey, Hanako, wait for me. I'll be right back. I put the now empty cup down, slide my phone into my pocket, and begin to move off carefully. Skipping around the bag, I place beside my feet. Thankfully, sitting around while talking to Hanako has helped me feel a lot better than before. Wait, what? What? Where are you going? Just stay here. I'll be back in a bit. As much as I like to have jogged back, I know full well that I couldn't. I ended up walking back to the cafe, a little blue bag in my right hand. Hanako noticed me quickly, looking about as confused as she did when I left. I deposited the minty Dimitri bag in front of her and sat back down. Is this? It's for you. You can open it. But, go on. She looks very unsure about it, but eventually gives in. She slowly opens the bag and picks its contents out. A silver charm phone strap dangles from her fingers, ending in a delicate flower. It isn't exactly a masterwork of jewelry, but it's about as much as I could afford. Hanako's eyes light up when she looks at it. It's the kind of reaction I was hoping for. The summer sunlight gleams off the silver as it twists to and fro a little. It's not too no, but it still looks a little charming. I think it suits her well. Hanako lowers the phone strap to the table and looks to me once more. But it's not Christmas or my birthday. It's fine, don't worry about it. I just thought it would be nice to have something to decorate your phone with. I don't have anything to give to you. I told you, it's fine. Friends can give things to each other like this sometimes, right? Friends. Hanako lowers her face so much that I can't see her expression. She eventually nods before taking her phone and fiddling with the strap to attach it properly. She looks to me and smiles as she holds up her phone, now adorned with a little flower. Thank you, Hisao. Her smile proves ineffectuous. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a couple getting up and leaving. That reminds me that the bus back to the town below Yamaku will be coming soon. I guess I better be going if I want to catch the next bus to town. You coming as well? Yes. She hesitantly nods before carefully putting her phone back into her pocket and getting out of her chair. I do the same and pick up the bag I left beside me on the way out. We walk side by side as we make our way to the bus station, exchanging no words between us. Hanako's gaze is firmly locked ahead of her, though she looks very happy with herself. I'm not sure what I should say to her, but I'm also not sure that I need to say anything. The fact that Hanako is happy and happy because of me is enough to make that load on my arm feel light as a feather. Surprised she was in the city alone, though. Finally, reaching the classroom after the usual walk from the dorms, I step inside. My eyes immediately turn to the third seat from the left in the back row. Hanako's seat. It's empty, and after glancing around the classroom, it looks like she isn't here yet. The two girls from the newspaper club are here, in the two seats to the left of Hanako, and so are Sasune and Misha, but that's about it. We exchange morning greetings before I take my seat. I have to admit that there is a bit of relief that gives me at least a few more minutes to think. Not that I haven't been doing so previously. Ever since our trip to town, Hanako's been on my mind. I still don't know what to make of my relationship to Hanako. I like her, I can admit that much to myself. I want to protect and shield her from the pain she feels. I really don't think my feelings are just those of friendship anymore. But that said, I feel like I don't even know her. If I made a move on her, how would she take it? Is she in an emotional state that allows her to make a reasonable decision about a relationship? How will she cope with something that might happen afterwards? There's also the possibility that I'm just completely misinterpreting Hanako. Not a difficult thing to do with someone whose social skills seems to be so underdeveloped. The sound of footsteps comes up to the door, making me perk up, and ends up just being Mika. She barely acknowledged my existence when I accidentally make eye contact with her. I'm about to look away, but another person comes in not long after she takes her seat. I feel myself frozen as I see Hanako enter. This is an irrational reaction, but I have no idea how I should act or what I should say to her. For a moment, our eyes meet. And then, just as quickly, she looks away and moves to her seat without saying a word. Uh-oh. As is now usual for the period following classes, my face is buried deep in a book that I found thoroughly uninteresting. Studying is not something that comes naturally to me. I didn't study a lot before coming to Yamako, and until now, I largely managed to cast through on talent alone. It's frustrating that I can't do that anymore. Judging by the faces of the other few students in the library, I don't think I'm alone in my distaste for this. Misery loves company, I suppose. I decided to spend lunchtime with Hanako since we haven't had lunch together for a while now. I may as well have spent the time studying though. Aside from periodically small snips of small talk, there was barely a word said between us. Why does she keep doing this to me? I just want to protect her, to be there for her. But every time I feel like we're coming closer, we end up further away. Are you busy? Hanako! My head rolls around in surprise, causing her to retreat in fright. That was bad timing. If I hadn't been thinking about her at that very moment, I probably wouldn't have been nearly so startled. Sorry, you just startled me. I find myself staring at her longer than I should, so I go back to the text laying on the table in front of me. I feel more like I'm just staring at the words rather than actual reading. I get the feeling Hanako can notice this as well, so I sigh and close the book. What's up? I was just wondering what you were reading. She looks a little downcast after my reaction to seeing her. Giving up on the prospects of getting any work done, I get up and return the book to its place on a nearby shelf. Just an English textbook. Has it helped? Helped me realize that I don't like English. Yeah. Hanako gives a small giggle. I may muse on the strange state of our friendship, but I do know that such little gestures are things that I wouldn't see were I not at least some distance closer to her than when we first met. I look at her for a moment, thinking about what I do and don't know about her. It's a slightly depressing topic. Is something wrong? If I want to know more about her, maybe I should stop being so evasive about it. Talking with Lily as an equal, rather than being constantly in fear of causing her to become upset, works fine. So I should just try a straightforward approach with Hanako as well. Hey Hanako, do you mind if I ask you a question? I don't mind. I want to know what your life was like. Your life before coming to Yamako. She hesitates. I briefly consider backing off, but she seems to be taking the question quite seriously. I sit and watch her, silently letting her take her time. She's not making eye contact with me, and it looks almost as if she's arguing with herself, letting herself open up to me more. Her answer finally comes in stiff, almost reluctant nod. She looks far more tense than she did before I ask. Okay, but in return, you have to tell me about your life as well. I nod and follow her as she begins to walk out of the library so we can talk. By now, most of the students have already left the main building, so apart from a few people hovering around clubs rooms, the hallways are largely empty. I guess we start with coming to Yamaku. Let's see. I was in the hospital when my parents first told me about Yamaku Academy. The doctor told me I shouldn't go to my old school anymore. My parents agreed and pursued me to apply for Yamaku, even though it would mean living away from them for the first time. It must have been hard for you. Well, yeah, I have to admit that it was. My parents both worked long hours and full time, so having to live reasonably independent wasn't anything new to me. It was the fact that I was going to a school for disabled students that hit hardest, I think. And you? A small group of chattering girls passes us as we near the stairs, when Hanako herself tightly to my side until we reach the ground floor. She doesn't usually come this close while just walking in the school, so I'm left a little put off. The staff at the orphanage offered me some opportunities on what I could do. Middle school hadn't been good, so I thought that Yamaku might be better. It was isolated, and I thought it might be easier to get by here, with most of the others being disabled. It's pretty ironic that the reasons Hanako looked forward to Yamaku are the exact reasons I hated the idea. To me, it felt like I was being shunned somewhere away from society, and everyone I know. To Hanako, that was probably an inviting prospect. What was life like at the orphanage? It was okay. Staff there were nice, and they took care of us. The children there didn't talk to me much, but I didn't really want to talk with them either, so I didn't mind. The orphanage had a little library, so I started to read to pass the time. The staff didn't mind it, because it made me easier to handle than many of the other children. You didn't make any friends there? No. I think my life was on hold. During that time, I knew that, but I didn't mind. To think her life was on hold for all that time, though. Depending on when the fire happened, that was a huge chunk of her life. No parents, no friends, apparently no relatives. We walked through the door into the courtyard. I expect the need to avert my eyes from the sun, but by now it's well into sunset. Hanako's eyes keep flicking to me, so I look away from her for a bit. What was it like in the hospital? I quickly clear my thoughts and try to refocus them. I hesitate for a bit, but I know that I have to tell her. We're close enough for her to feel comfortable telling me this, so it's only fair that I reciprocate. It was okay at times, but at others, it was pretty bad. At the beginning, everyone sent their sympathies and came to visit often. It was just like breaking an arm or something. Meeting all my friends was one of the good times. Aniko came in often as well, more often than anyone else. But there were bad times too, when my friends slowly stopped visiting. I began to realize how grave my situation was. It reminded me that this wasn't just a broken limb, but that I was now a different person than before. Even the times Aniko would spend with me became torturous. By the end, we were reduced to silence, whereas before she would be talking constantly. But that's how Aniko always was. She may have been a fragile person, but she would talk constantly to try and hide that fact. Not about anything in particular, just talk. I think the three lowest points would have been when my parents told me I wouldn't be going back to my old school, my birthday passing while in the hospital, and when Aniko left for the last time. We left the school buildings behind as we walked the main path through the gardens. They may have been the odd bystander in the school buildings, but outside, we're practically alone. What was your middle school like? I liked it. I grew up in a really metropolitan area, and the middle school was nearby, so it was pretty crowded. I didn't mind it, probably because I'm used to being in crowds and around lots of other people. I got good grades and I played soccer with my friends. I spent a fair bit of time hanging out with them after school as well. Did get teased a bit over my hair though. Your hair? I grimaced a little as I put my hand over my hair to cover it. I keep getting taffies and strands that refuse to flatten or stay where I wanted them. My mother wouldn't let me just get my hair shaved. It had a habit of popping out no matter how much I tried to brush it down. It still does, a little. I was worried I'll get that reply. It says sorry, I didn't mean to. I give a mild laugh and wave it off. It's fine, I know it still does. It's strange to have someone act so interested in my past. If it was anyone else, I'll think were just acting polite. But that's something I really don't think Hanako would do. Or if she did, she'll do it so badly that it would be obvious. There are a number of girls in the common room on the ground floor, and Hanako presses herself to my side once more as we walk past them. I expected her to break off, but instead, she continues to cling on to me as we walk towards the stairwell. Something about the way she's holding on to me feels different from the usual. I'm left deep in thought as we walked up the stairs and down the hallway. It's only when we stopped that I looked up and realized that I've been following her without question. Why did we come to your dormitory room? She stares at the door without so much as a glance in my direction. Hanako? She moves to answer, but stops herself. Instead, she silently breaks away from my side, opens her door, and steps inside. I look up and down the hallway, a bit lost as to exactly what I should do. Shrugging, I decide to follow her, since I don't have any reason to do otherwise. Hanako stands in the middle of her room and looks straight at me. It's unnerving when she does this, and it's such an unusual action from her. I open my mouth to speak, but she prompts me? Could you close and lock the door? Hanako's hand reaches for her chest, grabbing her blouse at her heart. I turn and lock the door shut, then freeze. The atmosphere is beginning to feel quite strange. This feeling is only made more profound when I hear the curtains being pulled behind me. It's going to be night soon. We're a guy and a girl in a bedroom. She's closing the curtains and I'm shutting and locking the door. She can't really have that in mind, can she? I gulp and turn around, very, very slowly. Hanako is in the center of the room, but hasn't turned back to face me. You told me about your past, so I have to tell you mine. She takes a deep, shuddering breath. She pauses for a number of seconds. Her hands move to her ribbon and begin to tug, all but confirming my thoughts. Hanako? Please, don't say anything. I obediently stay hushed as she slides off her ribbon and continues to unbutton her blouse, before working the clip on her bra. The process is slow. Perhaps it just feels slow because of what she's doing. I'm not sure. I froze to the spot. All I can do is watch Hanako, hands trembling, unclips her skirt and lets it drop to the ground. Finally, she takes her blouse in her hands and draws it off, her bra falling from her shoulders. And so Hanako stands in the middle of the room, all but bare, save for her stockings and her underwear. This is me. All of me. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scarring on her back. The skin of her right side is of a similar texture to that of her face, but is also stretched taut and covering a much larger area. The scarring is by far the worst on her left shoulder, buttocks, and thigh. She was burned so bad. Oh, that's really upsetting, actually. This is beautiful drawing, but I couldn't even imagine being burned like that. That's terrible. Just as my heart attack redefined my life, this is the event that redefined Hanukkah's. As if I see this when I first met her, I have been shocked. Not only at the sight, but also at the idea that something like this was survivable. But after having time to get used to the idea, and after seeing the scars on her face, hands, and collar, my reaction is more measured. My reaction right now is not due to her scarring, but to her body. The fire happened when I was 8 years old. It was night, and we were sleeping when it started. Haneko's voice trembles, the shaking of her blouse giving away the fact that her hands are doing just the same. I curled up into a ball. When the fire spread over me, my mother tried to shield me. That's the only reason I lived. God, that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oh, God. Haneko's eyes begin to moisture, her voice cracking under the combined pressure of exposing herself to me like this and revealing those painful memories from so long ago. I want to say something, anything, to make her feel better. I can't, though. I feel completely useless when faced with a situation like this. She's forcing herself to come so close, yet it's at a time like this that I feel most distant to her. I'm sorry for making you see this. There's no point in denying the obvious. I think what I should say now, and what Hanako wants me to say now, is the truth. What I genuinely, honestly believe. It doesn't matter. You're a wonderful person, Hanako. Your body doesn't change that. She looks at me for a long time, her breathing uneven, as she tries to remain steady amidst the emotions we're both feeling. Feels less like she's looking at me than she's looking through me. I slowly walk towards her and gently place my hand on her shoulder as she lets go of her blouse. She gasps a little, not in fright, but in simple startlement. Being so close to her has caused my mind to become a jumble of feelings. Scarring on my shoulder, plain to see and leather-like to the touch, conflicts strangely with her otherwise soft skin and silky dark hair. Hanako is a girl, with all that entails. She's taller than usual for a woman, but still has curves in all the right places. The nape of her neck, just visible thanks to her hair shrugged over her shoulder, is alluring. I know that I'm not pretty like Lily. I just wanted you to see me. The real me. I already seen the real you, though. You didn't need to take off your clothes for that. Oops, okay. Her lips are open just a little. She lets out a sharp breath as, without thinking, I brusquely lean forward and press my lips to hers. The kiss only lasts for a fleeting moment before our faces part, our breathing quick and nervous. The feeling in Hanako's mouth lingers and her eyes remain locked to mine. Well, I am gonna end this here because we all know where this is going. And in the next part, we're gonna be after all this scene. But for now, this has been Visual Novel Gamer, and I hope you like, comment, subscribe, tell me how you're doing, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.